Yeah, okay. So I'm Jordan Aramitz, and this is Phosphorus. There's a fine line to your wry eyes that I want to capture in mason jars to make string lights out of them, out of memories that are left behind. 3 a.m. is the bewitching hour. My circadian rhythm scours 2 continents, to bound and heartbeat under my ear, across the ocean under my voice. I buy a drink, or two, of you, and in my mind, the curves of your phosphate lips glow and whisper, I love you. I give myself to the lost art of moving. The screen casts my face into the limelight. Pixels shine into tired eyes. Sigh to stay up and forget about time. Your coy smile twisted right in my throat, right below phantom phosphorus lipstick marks that have worked to erode away my jaw. My voice box. This is a song for the end of the bar, for the night. But Death and I have been intimately acquainted for some time now. Do you like the taste of war? To keep my mouth shut tight, I gnaw at my own bones and hope they don't break. Sunlight will strip my skeleton white, bite my ribs. You will discover fireflies cased in my chest to carry your name, and out of my mouth they take flight. Yeah, so this is quite a interesting question for me because I'm a prose writer, as I describe myself more than a poet. But I love poetry because it helps me write and explain the mundane or deeply personal in extraordinary ways. I naturally use quite a few poetic devices in my prose, but with poetry I can condense it all into a tightly wrapped, well-formatted piece. And with this discipline, I can cathartically write about my experiences in the world without being consumed by the sheer reading of them, if that makes sense. So this is quite an old poem about a friend who I had feelings for the greater part of last year. They now go to university in another country quite a few times over time, so I got into the sort of bad habit of staying up until early morning to talk to them. That's why there's so many references to light, the light of my phone screen while we text each other, and the approaching sunlight that would end the conversations. I picked phosphorus because the element has a grisly history of being used in munitions in the World Wars. It's a gorgeous glowing light in certain forms, but also causes tissue damage if touched directly. So that was the line about the jaw eroding away and everything. And I was writing about how my adoration for my friend was a talk bond, but it was also incredibly stressful for my mind, body. So I feel like my best poems really come out of when there wasn't much of a process really. I wrote this poem one morning after an 8-hour-long call to my friend after helping me study for their exams, and I was so overwhelmed by my feelings that most of my lives just came naturally to me. So after getting the initial draft down frantically, it was just a case of arranging them to not be a mess. The structure of the poem is stanzas that are mirrored, and this adds a subtle rhythm to it. So there's 6 lines, there's 4 lines per stanza, and then 8 in the next, and so on, and mirrors. So other than that, it's just a free verse reflecting this fill of emotions. So I would say try not to overthink it. Like I said, the best lines I've never come up with them off the cuff and unfiltered. It's always really good to edit and restructure the first draft to make sure the piece is more cohesive and doesn't feel rushed all over the place. But don't do that so much that your original vision is wiped away, and you're not left with something that is very sterile and impersonal. Well, this is quite a fun question because I am studying English literature at university right now. So reading poetry, I think, takes a very big range of factors, but one of the main ways I do it is that I believe that although poems can be deeply personal to the author, there is nothing stopping you from relating to it and comparing your own experiences, their experiences, to your own. Doing this connects you to the author because you're both moving the same way through events that have happened in your different lives. So someone reading my poem, Phosphorus, can easily, and I encourage them to do so, think about a time in their own life where they've been so in love with someone that they spend hours with them to the detriment of their own health. And doing things like this makes the poem affect the reader more deeply than it usually would, because there's this bond between you and the author. So this is probably the hardest question in the lineup because there's so many that I could say, but the one that stood out to me was The Little Red Cap by Caroline Duffy. It's an incredibly visceral piece about the loss of innocence and growing up, and it really resonated with me because it took the original folktale of Little Red Riding Hood and turned it into this gritty modern almost drama. I'm not sure that's the right word, but something like that. And when I was in sixth form, a teacher taught its parts to me, and that was a turning point for me in my career because my dad, I was really remember this lesson. My poetry was absolutely terrible, and because I didn't really understand the complex components that go into a poem to make it non-cliche and actually interesting. So after my teacher taught me all the incredible things that Duffy used from like internal rhyme and the structure and what makes it so deeply personal, I started using these devices in my own poem and started to notice the clever ingenuity in others' poems, and started integrating back to my own, and that really helped me develop a style on my own.